News 4 at 6.
The damage to Duke Energy's infrastructure in the upstate from Helene is historic.
The impact of Helene still being felt here in the Carolinas. Hundreds of thousands are still without power. Officials calling the damage to the power system significant. Then also in North Carolina, recovery efforts are still ongoing as the state tries to get back on their feet after the storm. Breaking news in Greenville as emergency officials gave an update on the operations in the county. Officials urge people to be patient as crews are working to restore power. County officials say 86% of the county is still without power, and it could take up to a week or possibly longer to restore power for some. Also telling people to stay off the road so emergency crews can work. They also say make sure you stop at intersections that have traffic lights out.
It's a tough time for everybody. Some people have power, but most people in Greenville County do not have power. If you would, stay off the roads. The more traffic that we generate in Greenville County, the more gas we're burning, which causes a cycle of problems at gas stations. And so stay off the road, stay away from wires on trees. These are some of the things that you can do to help the professionals get the disaster areas cleaned up across Greenville County.
County leaders address social media rumors of price gouging. They say as of now, there have been no findings. They also debunked any claims of the county in danger of running out of gas. They also say watch out for tree service scams and to never give anyone any payment until the job is complete. Tonight, Duke Energy also says it will take days to repair the outages in the upstate, estimating that it could be Friday before some people get power back. At least, and last check, in the upstate, around 497,000 people still are without power, according to Duke Energy's website. While in western North Carolina, more than 207,000 outages are being reported. Today, while in Greenville, the South Carolina president of Duke Energy talked about how severe the damage is.
The poles and wires that make up our transmission system have experienced unprecedented damage. This infrastructure must be repaired before service can be restored to neighborhoods and businesses.
Just a short while ago, Governor Henry McMaster and other state officials spoke about recovery efforts on Helene. The governor says more than 900,000 are without power in the state. The vast majority should have power by Friday evening. The governor also says today he directed the National Guard to bring in additional service members to help. They will be supplementing the work done by Law Enforcement Division. He also requested the help of the State Guard as well.
The State Law Enforcement Division is working with all the sheriffs and all the police. It really is a mighty and highly unified and experienced and sophisticated force that we have working, but it's just going to take time. The main thing, be safe. Don't do anything you're going to regret, and just hold tight, and it's slowly but surely we're coming back online.
South Carolina Department of Transportation confirms all interstates have been cleared of trees and debris, and now they will focus on their primary routes like US 29, which carries half of the state's traffic. In Anderson County, authorities are working to get bottled water to people in Belton and Honeypath. Many of them are under a boil water advisory. Officials say people under the advisory can pick up water at Leda Park in Belton and at 204 South Main Street in Honeypath. More schools across the upstate are announcing cancellations and changes for the start of the week. Pickens County schools will be closed Monday and Tuesday. Abbeville County is having an e-learning day Monday before their fall break starts on Tuesday. Lawrence County schools will have e-learning days Monday through Wednesday of this week, and all 7 districts of Spartanburg County schools will be closed Monday and Tuesday. For a full list of all the schools' plans in the upstate, just go to our website, WYFF4.com. Helene brought devastating conditions to North Carolina, with the highest rainfall total being reported at more than 29 inches. According to authorities, flash flooding, falling trees, and rapidly rising water levels created life-threatening conditions. At least 65 deaths have been confirmed as a result of the storm, and at least a third of the victims were killed by falling trees. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper gave another update today on the recovery efforts and the damage caused after Helene hit the state.
Yesterday, we received word from Washington that President Biden approved my expedited request declaring a major disaster for 25 North Carolina counties and the eastern band of the Cherokees. This declaration will immediately pave the way for public assistance to help our hard-hit local governments, as well as provide much-needed relief to our residents through the Individual Assistance Program, and people are already signing up. We'll announce more information about this federal aid a little bit later. Depending on where you are, this unprecedented storm dropped from 10 to 29 inches of rain across the mountains, causing life-threatening floods and landslides. Unfortunately, 11 people in our state have died as a result of this storm, and tragically, we know there will be more.
North Carolina Department of Transportation is still urging people to avoid travel with hundreds of roads and sections of interstates closed due to the damage from Helene. Officials in Asheville say work is underway to get some cell phone service restored. The city says Verizon is setting up a temporary cellular satellite at the Family Justice Center on Woodfin Place. The tower will provide limited service within several city blocks. Turning to our weather now, meteorologist Griffin Hardy here. Griffin, how does the start of the week look as we work to restore and get things done?
Nice and easy, which is exactly what we need. We're kind of in cruise control this upcoming week. The temperature is going to be mild. We only have just small chances for rain these next couple of days, including right now and the rest of the evening tonight. You may get a quick shower, but not expecting anything heavy or widespread. Luckily, we have a Skycam back. The Hilton Greenville Skycam is back online. Temperatures right now sitting in the upper 70s. We do have one little heavy shower that's down there in Anderson County right now. Let's zoom in a little closer on that. Live Super Doppler 4 just north of Lounsville. This downpour is lifting up to the east-northeast at around 20-25 miles per hour. This should be moving through due west here in about 25 or 30 minutes, and a couple little more slightly heavier showers just to the south of downtown Anderson. But this will be the heaviest I think that we'll see the rest of the day today. If anything, it's going to look more like this, just a little bit of sporadic quick showers kind of lifting up towards the northeast. And the flash flood warnings likely have expired, but river flood warnings are still in effect, as you would imagine. Still need some time for a lot of this, all that extreme rain from Helene to drain out. So flood warnings still in effect for the French Broad going up to the border with Tennessee and the Saluda River closer towards the upstate in Pickens and Greenville counties. A lot of showers drifting up towards the northeast with what's left of Helene still kind of swirling there. It's just kind of sitting there, but it's now gone post-tropical, not nearly as strong. For the rest of that 12-hour forecast, we'll keep with partly to mostly cloudy skies. And again, you may get a quick stray shower later tonight, but I don't really think, aside from that one in Anderson County, most of them should stay light. Temperatures down to the mid-60s by early tomorrow morning. For the mountains, same story, just a little bit cooler, down to the lower 60s by early tomorrow morning. We'll talk about the rest of the week's forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes. Maya, back to you.
Both South Carolina and North Carolina's Attorney General announced the state's price gouging laws remain in effect. While prices are expected to rise due to the storm, consumers are asked to be on the lookout for any businesses appearing to take advantage of the situation through price gouging of food, gasoline, lodging, and other items. You're asked to note the time, place, address, and name of the business. Note the price you paid and any prices nearby with the same information. Take pictures and send all the information to the State Attorney General's office. Hurricane Helene passed through Georgia this week, leaving behind a trail of storm damage and debris. Governor Brian Kemp was on the ground in South Georgia to give an update on the storm's aftermath as he and First Lady Marty Kemp spent Saturday morning touring the damage in Valdosta, one of the state's hardest hit cities. Officials confirmed that there are 17 fatalities across the state, and some of the victims were children. Hundreds of thousands of customers are also remaining without electricity, including more than 600,000 in Georgia.